Happy Sunday everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are enjoying these videos. I have been vlogging pretty much daily, but I'm not going to commit to daily uploads. I feel like that puts a little bit too much pressure on myself if I promise you guys that up front, but I am trying to vlog very frequently, so hopefully you guys are enjoying that. Thank you for watching if you are. And right now I'm just gonna have some breakfast. I've been obsessed with these Icon Meals breakfast tacos, simply because one, they taste really good, and then two, their macros are really good on this meal. It's 26 protein, 23 carbs, and 11 fat. So it's a really good, well-rounded meal. Carbs aren't too high, fats aren't too high, and protein is spot on for me. So with a lot of the other signature meals, I can't necessarily fit them in very easily right now because my macros are still lower than, you know, what they will be when I get into a surplus at all. So for right now, I'm kind of sticking to those kinds of meals and then just ordering like chicken and beef and salmon, stuff like that. So on the agenda for today, we may go bike riding again for our cardio rather than doing cardio at our apartment. We have church at 11, which I'm really excited about. I haven't been to church in 2 weeks because of traveling, and then I will be traveling next week, so I want to make sure we get to go today. Brandon just went to go get coffee because we ran out, and that is super upsetting. But last night was so much fun. If you guys watched my last vlog, it was where Amanda and everyone was competing, and it was so much fun to see everyone compete and be there and cheer for them. Conian, please be quiet. He's been whining non-stop. This is what he does sometimes. Please stop whining. So it was so much fun to see them all compete and then to go out with them, and some of them were like, I can't believe you're sitting here and it's, you know, are you not like dying right now? I wouldn't be able to sit here and watch people eat. And I was like, no, this is like the happiest thing in the world. And me and Karen like compared it to seeing your friend getting engaged and being like so happy for them. Honestly, that's kind of how I feel when I see my friends eating food. Like, Amanda has waited her turn. It was so her turn to be enjoying that burger and fries, and oh my gosh, the brownie thing that she got, oh, it looked so good. So I'm incredibly happy for her, and now I know where to go for dessert next time that I'm allowed to have some. So I am going to be having a free meal next week in New York. I am so excited about that. If you guys don't know, I'll be in St. Louis on Thursday the 18th and 19th. I'll be in Boston on the 20th, and I'll be in New York on the 21st and 22nd. So I'm really excited about that. If for some reason you're in that area and you haven't heard me speak of it before and you want to come, we're doing Pardomas workshops in Boston and New York. The St. Louis thing is for First Form. If you don't know, I am a First Form athlete and elite trainer. So they're bringing me out there for just various things and photo shoots and stuff like that. So I'm really excited. It's going to be a really fun weekend. A lot of traveling, but thankfully I will be ordering my Icon meals to arrive probably in Boston rather than St. Louis, so I don't have to do too many flights. We'll see. I'll figure it out, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog, and if you do, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next clip. So Amanda and Karen actually just Snapchatted me, and we all live in the same apartment complex, and they were like, we're headed to the spin bikes if you want to join us for cardio, because we always like text each other or snap each other just in case the other one's awake and like wants to go. So that was like 10 minutes ago, so I'm probably gonna get there a little bit later than them, but I'm mixing up my water and my BCAAs. These are the BCAAs I use by First Form, the lemonade flavor. This is my favorite flavor. And normally I'll put 2 scoops in my big gallon jug, but right now I'm just putting it into my trimmer bottle. Love these bottles. So I'm actually gonna use a full scoop in this, which is only 32 ounces, but it'll be super flavorful and delicious. So what I do is I mix it up, and then I add some ice, and then I sip on iced lemonade while I do swim bike. So it's a lot of fun. I will see you guys for cardio and stretching. Hey guys, I've got to interrupt this video really quickly because I wanted to announce the Icon Meals giveaway winners. So I did choose 2 winners. One winner is going to win 12 meals from Icon Meals, and then the other winner is going to get a little box of like goodies of all of their snacks, like the popcorn, and they're going to get to try the brownie before anyone else gets to try it, and maybe some gear and stuff like that. So the winner of the 12 meals was actually from YouTube, and it was Megan Blanchett, I think is the name. Blanchett, I'm so sorry, I'm probably butchering your last name, I feel bad. But she wrote a super sweet comment. I'll see if I can't somehow screenshot it and put it on the screen. Basically just saying that her being on the channel and like watching the video and stuff has really just impacted her in a positive way, and it was just a really heartfelt comment, and I really appreciated that. So Megan, I hope you enjoy your meals. Go ahead and email me at emilyhaydenfitness@yahoo.com. Just let me know that you won, and I'll get you connected with Icon Meals so that we can get your meals shipped out to you. And then the Instagram winner, we had tons of entries. The Instagram winner is Anna Huffman. So Anna Huffman, you are the winner of the snacks, and she lives in Atlanta, and she basically said that it's like the busiest year of her life, and she's been wanting to try out Icon Meals, and she's finishing up her degree in 2 organizations on campus. So I think this would be really helpful for her, and the snacks are definitely something that you could just bring to school with you, so that when you are on campus and you can't get away for like an actual meal, at least you can have some really good macro-friendly snacks with you. So thank you all so much to everyone that played and that entered into the giveaway. I will be doing more giveaways soon. It's hard choosing a winner for me because I want everyone to win. But thank you if you entered, and I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Cardio is done. Feels so good to sweat in the morning. I was actually wanting to do cardio when she texted me, so I was so glad that I came. How do you feel?
I feel dehydrated, but it's okay. I went to do cardio and I feel great too. And I was gonna vlog, but Emily started vlogging before me. That's why.
Oops. You took my stole vlog. YouTuber problems. Okay, her turn. Cardio and stretching felt so good. I got home and showered, got all fresh and clean, and now we are headed to church, and then we'll see you guys at home. I do want to talk about my improvement season, so I think this video will be where I do that. So I will see you guys for a little chit chat when we get home. Cute little love fest going on over there. Some nuggets. All right, guys, it's time we have a chit chat. Okay, so I've been wanting to talk about my improvement season for a while, and this is the perfect time. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm first going to talk about what it means to go pro, what my plans are, long-term, short-term, what my improvement season is going to look like. And then from there, I did post on Instagram just kind of asking what your questions were about improvement season and lean bulking, all of that. So I'll address everything I want to address, and then I will answer some of your questions and hopefully help educate you guys on improvement season and what that means for me. So first question I've been asked a lot is, what does it mean now that I'm a pro, and what are my goals with it? So if you've been following me or subscribed to me for a long time, then you know that my ultimate goal is to be on the Olympia stage and to be Miss Bikini Olympia. And I'm not scared to say that out loud, because I know no matter how long it takes, that that's something that I can achieve if I just go full force at it and I don't give up. Because I know that no matter, you know, I'm gonna fail along the way, I'm gonna have mess ups along the way, but I know that I'll get there. So my ultimate goal is Miss Bikini Olympia. Is that going to happen in the next year? Is that going to happen in the next 10 years? We don't know, but I do know that it starts right now. So my prep for that started a long time ago, but now as a pro, my journey to the pro stage starts right now. So that leads me to my current plans, which is being in improvement season. My long-term goal for improvement season is to add 1 to 2 pounds of actual lean muscle within the year. So people don't realize how hard it is for women to naturally put on muscle. And it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I need a long improvement season. I'm not going to put a time frame or a time limit on my improvement season. I know that at this point, the longer the better, because the more that I can build up and the more lean muscle I can add and develop, the better I'll look when I lean down. So I'm not going to put a time limit on it. I am going to say about a year is what I'm kind of just estimating, but I'm not holding myself to that. So it'll just be however long I need for me to feel like I'm in a good place to start a bikini prep or a deficit again. So more of a short-term goal leading into that. I just want to be a well-rounded athlete. During prep and during my deficit, I neglected things like stretching and, you know, I didn't recover like I should have, and it just gets to the point where you're just grinding all the time and you try and recover, but your body's not recovering as well as it would if you were properly fed in a surplus rather than being in a deficit. Just meaning when you're dieting, your body doesn't recover as well. So now that I'm gonna have all the food and the energy that I need, I'll also be able to take that time off. So some of that means, you know, maybe one week I'll have 5 days a week that I'm training and 2 days completely off from training. Maybe one week that means 4 days training and 3 days off from training. I'm really just gonna go with how my body feels, and I'm just gonna make sure that I'm really taking care of my body. Also, I'm stretching every day now, which I have been loving, and which is crazy for me to say because I always have not enjoyed stretching at all. But I think like the second that you start doing it just a few times, you just start to feel better. So being a well-rounded athlete, actually resting, taking more rest days if needed, being active outdoors for cardio. We did biking on the beach the other day and some sprints on the beach, and that was so much fun. We haven't done much outside of the gym because, again, when you get, you know, down to the grind, you just got to grind it out and make sure that you get everything you need to get out of that cardio session. So now I can be a little more adventurous and do some fun things with Brandon and the boys, and I'm really excited about that. That's about it for my short-term goals. Now, as far as my diet goes, I am reverse dieting. Now, starting after the show, the next day, I just kind of like loosely tracked. You guys saw that I wrote down everything that I ate, and I didn't count the numbers, but I kind of knew in my head. And then starting that Monday, I started back on a set of macros. My macros at the end of prep were pretty low. I had to go pretty low for me to get that level of conditioning. And so during that first week back on my dieting macros, because that's what it is, it was hard. And, you know, I was over on macros here and there, but it was hard, and I was being over here, whatever, and there. But I was going to like barbecues and out to eat with people, and I was not eating at the barbecue. I was not, you know, participating in eating out just because I still needed that structure. And for me, I still just needed to be a little bit strict since I wasn't adhering 100% to my macros. So if you don't know, reverse dieting is absolutely harder than the actual diet itself. And last year I reverse dieted myself, and I actually had probably the best reverse diet, definitely the best reverse diet that I've ever done, and I followed it to the T. I feel like I did a great job last year of reverse dieting, and now I think my mindset is just a little different. And even with myself, you know, going over my macros a little bit, I didn't feel bad about it at all. Like, I just know that I'm hungry and like I might need to eat, you know, and I'm really okay with it. And I have no desire to play the whole like, how lean can you stay post-show game. I feel like that's a game on social media these days where everyone, you know, tries to stay as lean as possible post-show. And in my mind, you know, being more educated now, I just see no reason to prolong the diet and to prolong being that lean. I need to keep things tight. I need to stay an athletic lean for photo shoots and jobs and just it being my career. But there's definitely no point in going overboard on the other side of things, and that's why I stay strict with myself and I don't eat out if I'm not hitting my macros perfect and things like that. But for me personally, I'm just taking things as they come. I'm making sure that I'm in a good mental state, which I am. I feel great. And my advice to people reverse dieting, number one, is do not be so hard on yourself. I don't think anyone perfectly reverse diets. Even with my reverse diet last year, which was amazing, I wasn't perfect. So don't be hard on yourself. I know even with me, I was hard on myself for being like 20 grams over on carbs, but in the big scheme of things, it's like really not a big deal. So that's what's going on with my reverse diet, and basically where I'm at right now, we did increase my carbs a little bit just to try and increase my adherence to my program a little bit to make sure that I could stick to it and hit those numbers. And that's one of my other really important tips for you guys if you're reverse dieting. Another huge factor is just to make sure that you can adhere to your diet. If you are trying to hit these low macros and still be in that deficit and you just can't hit it every day and every day you're going over it, which makes you mentally feel bad about yourself, then you're going to end up just overeating and being like, oh, screw it, I'm just going to have extra food because I can't stick to it anyways. Whereas if you allow yourself a little bit more of an increase and then you're able to adhere to those numbers, that is so much better than trying to be at that deficit and failing over and over. So make sure that you can adhere to your program. Now, if I am adherent during the week, then I am getting a free meal on the weekend, just meaning I'm going to go out and go to a restaurant and order what I want, a burger, sweet potato fries, maybe a dessert, and not track it and just have a great meal, have a date night with Brandon or friends or whatever. Now, this past weekend, we went out for Amanda's show and I didn't participate in eating. I could have had a free meal, but I did not. I was not as adherent as I would have liked to be during the week, so I didn't allow myself that free meal. Now, coming next weekend, I'll be in New York, and I am 100% having a free meal because I already know what I'm getting from a restaurant. You guys are not going to want to miss that vlog. But that's basically where I'm at right now, is I'm just, again, taking it day by day, making sure I'm in a good mental state and not being too hard on myself, because I feel like I'm in a really good spot right now, and I am allowing myself a little flexibility, a little bit of, I'll have a bite, whatever, but I'm also still maintaining that structure, which I think is important. I want to talk about the reason why I consider improvement season so incredibly hard, almost harder than prep. And that's because not only you as the competitor, but everyone else around you has seen you at your absolute best. They've seen you at your leanest. You look like the leanest, meanest athlete, right? And then immediately post-show, you're reverse dieting. And even if you're doing everything perfectly, which no one does it perfect, by the way, even if you're doing everything right, you're going to be adding on body fat as the weeks go on. So now all of a sudden, you know, not only do you have this perception of yourself that is not maintainable or realistic, but so does everyone else. So I know for me as a competitor, I can see it in people's eyes when they see me and it's been like, you know, 8 weeks post-show or something, and I have more body fat on me than I did before. Mind you, I have never like rebounded post-show. I am always very structured with it. So it's by no means like I blew up or anything. Like, it's literally the most minimal fat gain, just it's normal. That's what happens. But I can see it in their faces. Like, you know what I mean? You can like tell when they look at you and they can say like, oh, she's not as lean as I remember her. You know, so my advice to you is you have to be confident enough to know that what you're doing is right and that this is normal and that there's literally no way for you to stay lean year round. So just throw that out of your mind. My advice to people that are going through improvement season is focus on your performance, focus on hitting PRs, and focus on muscle pumps. Just focus on loving the gym and loving training again. And what not to do would be, do not compare yourself to stage photos. Do not compare yourself to progress photos. I personally suggest to not pose in your competition bikini. I hold a lot of my weight in my hips, and it's the very last thing that leans out. Like, literally the last 2 weeks, my hip fat will like completely lean out, and it's like, woo, I finally made it. And then like literally immediately post show, that is the first fat to come back. And so then that pose, that front pose that I hit, doesn't look the same. And like, it can totally mentally wreck me if I let it. Or I can just focus on the fact that my goal right now is not to be leaner. So me waking up every morning and ab checking is not a good idea. And that's something else I wrote down. Do not ab check every morning. You know, when you're in competition prep, you're used to, you wake up, you look at your stomach, you see how you're looking, you weigh, and you're constantly looking better and better and better. Now, in improvement season, it's not that you're looking worse, it's just a different body, and you have to kind of wrap your mind around that, and it's very hard, I understand. And improvement season isn't something that you can just, I can tell you something and you're like, oh, I get it now, okay, I'm good, I'm gonna be perfectly happy with my body all throughout this year when I have more body fat. Absolutely not. It's not like that. It's going to be a daily process, and you're every single day going to have to remind yourself to focus on other things. So I remember there's actually a few points in my last improvement season where I didn't allow myself to look at my abs or look at my stomach in the mirror. I like would not look in the mirror at myself for an entire week, and that was like the most freeing week, and I felt amazing, and I was just focusing on everything else. And there's no reason to focus on, you know, ab checks or, you know, trying to hit a pose or whatever. I promise you the pose is not going to look the same. Quick recap, I'm in improvement season. I'm increasing my calories, so happy about that. Free meals on the weekends, or, you know, during the week if friends come. Marie's coming in town, that's why I'm saying that. And next show is going to be, we're not quite sure yet, but I'm thinking of taking an entire year straight through improvement season. So I'm really excited and really happy about that. Pounds above stage weight. I think my official stage weight for this year was 123. I did hit a 122 pound weigh-in, but I didn't hit that before the show. That must have been like the lowest fluctuation that I had, because 123 is what I hit right before I left. And I think that staying at 130 is going to be a good spot for me, but up to 133. So we'll see. And again, I'm not going to, you know, bind myself to those numbers by any means. I'm definitely going to go off of how I look and how I feel and how I'm performing. So that is what I wanted to tell you guys. I'm going to look at some of the questions and I will be right back with a few answers for you guys. Okay, so I'm sorry the lighting's not that great. The sun is going down, but I do want to just finish this clip for you guys. There's a lot of questions about improvement season on my Instagram photo. One of my first pieces of advice is to get a coach and have a coach take you through improvement season. So I am working with Paul Ribella, and he's helping me through my improvement season with my macro changes. And I'm very open and honest with him and letting him know, like, hey, my diet adherence was not great this week. I didn't by any means go overboard, but I just wasn't like 100% on my macros. And we work together and decide, you know, what to change. So it's really nice having him for that. Someone asked if I do cardio during my improvement season. Absolutely. I love cardio. It makes me feel good. Always gets those endorphins going. But the difference is between, you know, prep and improvement season. During prep, I have a set amount of cardio and I have to do that cardio. And it's, you know, it's something that's put out there for me. During improvement season, I do what feels good. And if I want to go ride bikes with Brandon on the beach, then I go ride bikes with Brandon on the beach. If I want to go hike and, you know, do something outdoors, then I go and do that. If I feel like waking up, you know, and doing 30 minutes of cardio with Amanda in the morning because it just feels good to sweat and stretch after, then that's what I do. I don't overdo it by any means. Everyone keeps asking how to take rest days. You just have to know that if you don't allow your body to rest and recover, then all the muscle fibers that you're tearing down, they never have time to build back up. And especially during improvement season when you're trying to build lean muscle, how are you going to build lean muscle if you never allow the time for recovery? And that's also where supplements come in, like glutamine and getting your protein and your BCAAs in. Those are all things that I take, as well as creatine before my workouts. I'll do a separate video on my supplements during my improvement season for you guys. I know a lot of people have asked about supplements, and I'm sorry, I keep meaning to do videos about supplements, so I will try and start incorporating more of that as well. Okay, so Courtney asked, how do you make yourself be okay with a more relaxed view on fitness in your improvement season? Sometimes I get so caught up in having to keep pushing to get to my goals, but it's important to take time off. I don't know if this even made sense, and put a little emoji. So I'm not sure if I totally understand your question, but for me personally, I'll just explain my view on that. Because my goals are to be Miss Bikini Olympia, I literally want to be the best. I don't have a relaxed view of fitness, and that's just for me. Now, if you are an NPC competitor and, you know, maybe you competed this year or you're going to compete next year and you're just taking time off to build and you're trying to figure out how to have your mindset right, you just need to know that improvement season is where the body is built. This is the sport of bodybuilding, and your body, your glutes, your shoulders, absolutely everything is literally built during improvement season. You do not make any gains whatsoever during your actual prep, during the last 12 weeks before your show, because you're in a deficit and you're literally just dialing in your body. So the changes that you want to make to your physique, that's going to occur right now, and that keeps me focused, because I know that the pro level of physique that I want, the top pro physique level, that is going to be created right now. So everything that I do right now matters for the show that I'm going to do in a year and a half. But I know that that's what keeps me focused. Now, with that said, you absolutely, it's a little different than prep. You know, when you're in prep, near the end, at least for me, I know that I had, you know, really hard training sessions. I had extra cardio near the end, and it was a lot of time spent just in the gym, and it had to be that way. Now I have more flexibility within my routine because I can choose to do my cardio, you know, on bikes and wherever I want to go. I keep talking about the bikes. I'm sorry, it was a lot of fun. I'm just saying, like, I can have more flexibility as far as that goes. Or, for example, if I need to take an extra off day, or say, like, I am just destroyed and I want to take a few off days in a row, I have the ability to do that, because you have more time to just kind of see how your body feels and go with however your body's feeling at the moment. So it's definitely important as well to allow yourself to guesstimate. That's something that I do during prep, not during prep. That's something I do during improvement season, is I will guesstimate. So that's, I guess, another part of the relaxed fitness view that you're talking about. So if I were to go out to eat with friends and say they didn't have the macros listed, I would not be bringing my scale. I would literally just estimate the best that I could. And these days I can estimate pretty well since I've been tracking for a while. But that's not something I would normally do during my actual competition prep at all. I do not guesstimate during prep because I think everything should be on point and very strict during prep. So that's my relaxed view, is being able to choose when and how I do my cardio. It's being able to guesstimate. It's being able to go ahead and just have an untracked meal and not track it at all. just for the sake of having mental balance and clarity. And maybe during that improvement season, it's also, you know, I'm sure at this point I'll have an entire week where I decide not to track. Now, with that said, because I do track and I know portion sizes and I eat all the same foods all the time, chances are I'm still going to be within my macro ranges. That doesn't mean that I go for a week and try every restaurant I've ever wanted to try. Not at all. It's, for me, the mental balance of everything comes in during that week when I say, you know what, I'm not going to track, I'm not going to weigh my food, I'm just going to eat to perform and, you know, do well in the gym. And that week, I usually do that once a year. That always makes me feel absolutely amazing. I did that before this last prep, and again, I ate within my macros, I'm sure, or within, you know, a certain range, and it was just amazing. So I don't know if that answered your question. I hope it did. This video is quite long and it's just been me talking, so please do me a favor. If you gained anything from this at all, the smallest thing that I ask for you is just to give this video a thumbs up. People ask why us YouTubers ask you to give the videos a thumbs up, and it literally just, it creates more traffic to my channel so that maybe people who wouldn't have otherwise seen my channel or my videos, now they get to see it because you're telling YouTube that this content is good content. So if you appreciate me doing this video, then I would really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. We can all work together here. So that's going to end this vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope it was helpful. If you have more questions, comment them down below, and I will do my best to answer a few questions in the next video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.